Hello. If you can read, you probably know that this video is the Autumn Song guitar tutorial kind of thing. Autumn Song by Stephen Day. Yeah, maybe you're here from seeing my other YouTube video where I covered it, or maybe you're just here because you're trying to figure out how to play the song and you've never heard my version of it, or maybe YouTube recommended this to you and you don't know why. But either way, glad you're here. Maybe if you want to stick around and learn an amazing song, this is definitely one of my favorite songs of all time. I uploaded a cover of it maybe 6 months ago. I have no idea. If you go back and watch it, I actually haven't changed my shirt since then. This one's still going strong. But just a really lame dad joke. Didn't realize I was wearing the same shirt though until I started doing this, and I was like, I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing in that video. Anyways, you didn't come here to hear me ramble. So I wrote out the chords. If we just dive right into it, I wrote out the chord charts for this, and I'm not gonna edit this video, so we're just gonna kind of do this thing. Also, you're gonna be propped up on some toilet paper, so I hope you're cool with that. But let's see. I'm just gonna hold it here for a sec so you can screenshot it. You can crop out the old toilet paper, I reckon. Hopefully you got it right there. I'll be showing it though as I'm going through this. Let me get that thing. I'm using my phone selfie camera, so it's not too great for low light. But okay, so the song goes, and I'm going to be teaching more how the chords for his version. I did mine really similar. I played it in C, but he plays it in C sharp. I believe he may do some different tuning with his guitar. Not totally sure. I didn't watch him play it to learn it. I just listened to it a bunch. And then when I learned to play it, I didn't really listen to and just try and copy him when I played it. I guess I just listened to it so much. Anyways, that's to say, I'm not doing like a fret for fret, note for note lesson on how he plays the song. It's going to be pretty similar, but yeah. Also, haven't played guitar. There's an ant. I gotta kill it. Okay. Haven't played guitar a lot in a long time, so I'm gonna be pretty rusty. Forgive me. Okay. It's 3 minutes into this video. Let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so Stephen starts out the song with a F sharp over G chord. Now, one note, if you're going to be playing it in the same key that he does, I would advise, if you're in standard tuning, doing capo 1, and yeah, playing it like that. And that's kind of how I have the chord charts written out. So first chord is this F sharp over G chord right there. I hope it doesn't show it backwards on the, please focus, on the video, but if it does, I'm sure you can figure that out. So one thing I want to point out, this note right here, this is the big string, the E string, in case this is backwards, or you're left-handed maybe. This, I would recommend playing that with your thumb. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to play this note on the high E string, which is okay. But if you haven't played with your thumb before, I would really recommend doing it. There's a lot of shapes and that plays so much better with your thumb. And also, it just makes guitar so much sweeter to play because you don't always have to like reach for those bar chords. You know, you can just, when you go from like your little cowboy chord to your, I'm playing that low F there, or F sharp, makes it easier. I'm going to try and quit apologizing for how long this video already is and just embrace it. You can skip through it, put it on fast. Okay, first chord, F sharp over G. In the key of C sharp, this is a 4/5 chord. Maybe that means nothing to you, but you need to know that that is a great chord and someone should name a band after that. We did. Okay, F sharp over G. It's late, I'm sorry. So yeah, that chord shape. You saw the picture, but I'll show you. Also, sorry, I've got a little black thumb. I was spray painting today. There it is. You These are the notes, and I'm not playing the A string. So that's it with the thumb. If you can't play with your thumb, you can still play the shape. You just can't add that, which he has in there. He has that note, I remember. So still the same thing. You can borrow that, I guess. Anyways, F sharp over G. That's how he starts it. If you've been outside lately, those leaves sure are changing. So that first chord he does, when you've been outside, right there, is a C sharp major 7. So with the capo on, either way you're gonna play like this. So I'll show you the chord chart for reference right now. This right here, you're gonna bar with your index finger. Sorry, it's out of focus, but and then make this little shape here. Now this note right here on your B string, as he hammers that on. Also, as you can see here, I don't know if I really wrote the chord charts out right. I don't really know how to write them out, but I tried really hard for you guys that need the tutorial. Anyways, lost my train of thought. Yeah, make that shape. Just play it, and I'm hammering that on, and he likes doing that. And that's the high E string note. Okay, so C sharp major 7, and then C sharp dominant 7. Okay, so right here I'll explain my weird notation. Please focus in. Maybe not. Maybe it's too dark. Okay, so C sharp dominant 7. Where I have these empty circles, or like not filled in circles, those are options. So when I play this, normally C sharp dominant 7 is going to be this right here. But I think it actually changes the name of the chord as well. You would call it something different, but I don't really know what that is off the top of my head, and I don't guess you care too much if you're watching this video. So, but yeah, what I do instead of playing this with that note held down, I actually, for this song, let me see if I can cover it up. I play that with that high E string on the 6th fret there pressed in. So I kind of play it like that and hammer onto that note. So I'll show you, and you'll hear it. So instead of going, that's your major 7 note, and then your dominant 7, or it's your minor 7 note over a major chord, which makes it a dominant 7 chord. Those leaves. So I take my pinky off. So I don't know what that chord is, but I should probably learn. But it's just your bar, and then you put your, you can hear it. But he goes, leaves sure changing. That's what he does on that little interlude part. Okay, and then he plays that F sharp major 7 chord. Again, I'd recommend here on the fat string, the thick string. Okay, the big E string, using your thumb there. That's the F sharp major 7. So he does that this thing sometimes. So normally maybe you'd play a F sharp major 7, like if you're using your thumb, you'd use this, play the A string, play a C on the A, or not a C, a C sharp, I guess, on the A string. But for that, I like to not play the A string at all and use my pinky to do that high. So I do thumb on the F string, or on the F sharp on the E string, and then I play these two, right, and then kind of make that A minor shape relative to your capo if you're playing that, and then open E string, which is going to be, what is that? E sharp is F. I'm an idiot. For that major 7. So, and you'll like hammer on with your, if you're playing with your thumb, it's your middle finger, but this on the D string, and that's when your pinky comes in. And again, I'm not playing my A string, so. But if you're not doing that, if you just want to play the chords, you can play that C. And if you can't play that with your thumb, you can play like the partial, or the F shape without the lower note. It's just, I mean, you know, the F, the normal F that you probably learned when you started playing guitar. You just don't bar with your index finger here, you go, so it's like your C shape, right? Except you move these two fingers over, and you leave that E string. Okay. And then F dominant 7, or relative to our capo, we can think of it as an E dominant 7, which is E7. You probably hear it. I like to add this note right here on the E7, or the F7, F dominant 7. So let's put it in context. Okay, so it goes, have you been outside lately? Those leaves sure changing. Reminds me of the time when we spent hours carving faces, making jack-o'-lantern. That's your E7. Light up in the night. Okay, so that's the part we're about to work on. It's an image that something inside my mind. I don't remember the words. And I've been waiting. I think I'm mixing verses, but that E7 shape, F dominant 7, though, in this case with the capo, not relative. So, oh, I didn't show it. That's the shape we're making. So, if you have the capo, you can play it open. I mean, you can see what it is there. And that circle there I have as an optional. I like to play that note in there. So, I wonder if you're singing autumn song, if I'm singing all alone. I must be singing on my own. So F dominant 7, and then an A minor 7, or A sharp minor 7. So you can, if you want to play this version of it, maybe you're more comfortable with. If you're not using your thumb, you know, the A minor shape relative to your capo, you just take off your ring finger. That makes it a minor 7. And I need to make sure this hand's in view, maybe. But I like to play it up here. And you can add in this, yeah, I put circles on those here. Either of these notes are also optional, but if you're playing it with a capo on that first fret, if you're playing A sharp with the capo, or if you're playing just A minor without the capo, and, you know, on the 5th fret instead, you can, so this is what I'm playing, or this, if I want to add less notes in there, make it simpler. So, wonder if you're singing autumn song. So that's just playing 3 notes there. And if I want to play 4 notes and leave that open, that note right there, it's like a minor 2nd of this note. Add some little spice in there. Maybe you don't want to do that all, you know. So that's one variation though. Or you can play that string, but just still put your pinky on that same fret that everything else is on instead. And you can play open E string, or E string, open E string, which is now F, the F note. Or you can play, anyways, you mess with that. And that's that A sharp minor 7, and then it goes to F sharp major 7 over G. So that, just think of that like your F sharp major 7 chord that you played earlier, except you put G under it. So you take this F sharp and move it up 1 fret. Ooh, I love that chord. I love when that fits in. Okay, if you're not playing with your thumb, I don't really know what to tell you. Let's see. You can play it like this. So you just take that F major 7 shape and put your pinky up here instead, maybe. So if you're not playing with your thumb, be and now wonder if you're singing autumn song. Here to be. If you sing it all alone. And he does that. I must be singing on my own. And then he goes in the chorus. And you know all the chords there. I'm still falling out of love with you. And the chord charts, I didn't think to mention that earlier. The chord charts will be down in the description. And I'm headed towards the door, not sure if I'll go through. And then here he does that E7 shape, the F dominant 7. Memories they take so long to erase. And then it's the same thing as like the verse that. Will we ever even start to fade? When the nights get cold, or whatever the verse is. That's the song. You'll just have to listen. I'm sure you know when certain things change, like the second verse is shorter, but there's a tag, where there's interludes. One thing I think I did in my version, in my cover, is I added in, got a burp, excuse me, here we go. Excuse me. This chord, it's a fun one. I had to look up the name for it though, and it is a F sharp minor major 7 13 chord. I think that's how you would call it. It sounds more complicated than it is. This is the shape or the chart for it, right? So if you're playing with your thumb, then it's going to be, I mean, I guess you don't even have to play with your thumb. That's how you play it. You just wouldn't add that note on the E string there. Is that right? No, here it is. Sorry, it's backwards on my screen. You wouldn't add that note there. You would just play, you wouldn't play your E string or your A string. You do that. And you would go, which is, ooh, it leaves you wondering, or like feeling like things aren't resolved, they're dissonant, but also it doesn't feel like it needs to land somewhere else. It just feels like you just got to sit with that. I love the feeling that chord gives in that situation. So, like your F sharp major 7 chord. Also, I'm sorry if I've been calling the F sharp chord F and the F dominant 7 chord E7 just randomly, and not. I hope that's you're able to follow that, because I believe I've just been calling them wrong, probably. But anyways, last chord is this F sharp minor major 7 13 chord. So the notes. So it's I'm on my way, just not today. Like that. Like it's right there. That's where I put it. And you can put it. You can play around with that. That chord will fit in a lot of other places. And another thing you can do. This isn't involved in this, but you can take that. Put that G sharp under it, make it like that chord but over the 5 note. I'm rusty. So, anyways, that's Autumn Song by Stephen Day. If you haven't heard that song, I don't know why you're listening at this point, but go listen to him do it. It is, ooh. And if you can relate to what he's talking about, it'll hit completely different too. So I feel like that's one of those songs that even if you can't relate yet, he makes you feel what it feels like, which is such a beautiful thing about music, and that people that are really blessed with music can do. Okay, this video is long enough. Hope that you have a great day or night or whatever it is. Okay, bye.